Alright guys, what's up? This is Vulture here, and I haven't uploaded a video in 6 days. This is the longest I've been without uploading a video. I apologize, I'm in the works of other videos, and Zombies has been stale recently, so I haven't been uploading Zombies videos. But I'm in the works of a prank call compilation, and two other funny videos, but it's really hard getting ideas for those funny videos, so bear with me. But yesterday was Father's Day, and I found this to be a perfect time to tell this story. I've tried telling this story many times, so I'm going to get it out this time. And basically, the reason when my dad passed away was because of smoking. So if you're a parent, or really the main reason why I'm telling this story is because a parent watches this, they can see what I went through and they can quit smoking. Or if you're somebody that has lost their parent before, I can relate to you, and you can maybe even tell your story down in the comment section below. I would want to read these, and I don't know how many views this is gonna get, but yeah. So hopefully I help out in some way, well, by telling my story. So let's get right into it. Alright, so this story takes place July 2014, and after a while of my family telling my dad, like, "Are you need to go to the hospital? Like, you can barely breathe. Like, you're huffing and puffing when you walk like 3 feet." And obviously, smoking like a pack a day for like 30 years, it gets to you. So finally, after a while of my family telling him, like, "Are you need to go?" he finally gives in and he goes. And I was sitting in the living room just like any other day. My mom and dad, they walk out the door, and I thought, it's not too serious, and this has a lot to do with this story, but I didn't think too much of it. Like, they just walked out, they're going to the hospital, they're gonna hook him up with inhalers, clean out his lungs, he'll be all right. And I was completely wrong, but they took him to the hospital, and he was in the hospital for a few days at like the regular hospital, and he started getting worse. So they took him to Georgetown University. It's like one of the best hospitals in the United States, and they took him there, and obviously stuff was getting worse. So they had to put the breathing tube in his throat. And every time you hear of like anti-smoking ads or anything like that, they show somebody with like a breathing tube or something. It's that type of thing, but it's something that nobody wants to go through, especially a person that nobody wants to see, like somebody in that position, especially your own kids. They don't want to see you in that position. It's a horrible sight. So they put him in there, and obviously I'm thinking, like, it can't be that serious. So finally, I my I think my godmother comes to pick my sister up to go to the hospital, and she comes over and she was like, "Connor, you should go to the hospital to see your father." And I'm like, and this is when I started getting this vibe, like, like, what the hell's going on? Like, this is starting to get weird. And she was like, I was like, "No, I'm good. I'm not gonna go," because I didn't think anything of it. I thought he was just gonna be fine. Like, he's just going in there, and yeah, I wasn't in the state of, like, I wasn't in my state of mind. Like, I wasn't in reality at this point. So my godmother's like, "Listen, your father's gonna die. You need to see your father." And this was when I was like, holy crap! Like, she's emotional, so, and that was pretty, like, it was pretty deep, honestly. And I was like, all right, I'll go. So I went, and I'll never forget the smell of that room. It's like a hospital smell. It doesn't smell bad. It smells like like everything's sterilized. Like, it smells like sterilized. That's not even a word to describe a smell, but you know what a smell of a hospital is. And I'll never forget that smell of the room. I go in there, and obviously has a breathing tube in, like the 10 bags of IVs, because my dad was a big guy. He was on like 3 times the amount of an old lady needs. It was crazy. I don't know what he was on, but he I went in there. It was horrible. I'm sorry, I'm like getting like choked up. I'm like, this is hard to tell. But so we go in there, and I see him. We're there for a few hours, and I leave, and a bunch of days go by, like 10 days, and I think I seen him again. I went there, and I it was August 5th of 2014, so like a month later. So I come out of the room, my sleeping schedule's messed up. It was like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and I walk out there. My mom's crying, my grandma's sobbing. She's an old lady, a hard old lady, so she wasn't really crying and blah blah blah. But I walk out there, and I knew something was wrong straight away. I was like, what the hell's going on? So my mom was like, "Connor, your father's passed away." And this is when, at the beginning of the story, remember how I said, like, it's just, it can't be that serious. He's just going to the hospital. And this is when confusion starts setting in. Like, if he didn't go to the hospital, would he have been fine? Because he ended up passing away of sepsis, and it's like a disease in the bloodstream that you get at the hospital. I don't know too much about it, but you know, it's like if he didn't go to the hospital, you know, he would have been fine. And this is when I started getting confused. I was like angry, and I don't know. It was a hard time going through this, and yeah, but I asked my grandmother and mom. I was like, if he didn't go to the hospital, would he be fine? And they were like, no, he would have done this at the house, and it was just a matter of time. But they had to resuscitate him a bunch of times, and probably the hardest thing about this all was the doctor coming in the waiting room when I went there the second time, and she was like, listen, we've resuscitated your father, you know, in upwards of 5 times, and she was like, should we not, you know, resuscitate him again? And it stands for DNR, do not resuscitate, or like do not revive. She was like, would you like him to be labeled as DNR? And my sister and me talked about it, and we were like, no, just don't resuscitate him, because it's delaying the inevitable. If we kept on resuscitating him, it's just like he's already gonna die. Why should we, you know, delay the inevitable? And this was very hard. It was horrible going through this, but yeah, he ended up dying of sepsis. It's a disease in the bloodstream, and if he didn't smoke cigarettes at all, he wouldn't even have been put in this predicament. He wouldn't have to go to the hospital, and you know, none of this would have happened. I'd still have him here. My bad, guys, I ran out of gameplay. But what I was getting at was, if he didn't smoke cigarettes, he wouldn't have had to go to the hospital. And if he didn't have to go to the hospital, he wouldn't have contracted sepsis, and he would still be here. But, guys, if you're someone that has lost a parent, there's nothing you can do besides move on. They would want you to move on. They wouldn't want you to be sad all day, and they wouldn't want you to let it destroy you. You know, obviously it's a hard thing to go through, and I don't wish it upon anybody, but just go through in life, be successful. That's what they would want you to do. And yeah, but if you're somebody that has been, if you're somebody that smokes, or your parent smokes, or you know somebody that smokes, get them to stop. Say you want them to be around for a lot longer, live a healthier lifestyle. But guys, this is Vulture. This has probably been one of my deeper videos. If you enjoyed this story or helped you out, drop a like, and thank you for watching, guys. Really appreciate it.